film with friends, missing VHS videotape repeating.
Welcome back, crew. Today we're looking at 1970s Patton. PG, 2 hours, 52 minutes. Directed by Franklin J. Schaffner. Screen story by Edmund H. North and Francis Ford Coppola, famously based on factual material from Patton, Ordeal, and Triumph. George C. Scott, Carl Malden, Stephen Young. This is a black clamshell 20th Century Fox widescreen series release, which were some of the first widescreen films that they used to release back in the 90s. I used to try and collect as many of them as I could. My first one being The Abyss, and then I had a couple others as well, and now I have a whole bunch in the archive, as we know. One hell of a war picture, it says. Winner of 8 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, Patton is a riveting portrait of one of the 20th century's greatest military geniuses. The only Allied general truly feared by the Nazis, George S. Patton Jr., triumphantly portrayed by George C. Scott in an Oscar-winning performance, was as rebellious as he was brilliant. After D-Day, he led his troops in an unstoppable campaign across Europe, but his own volatile personality was the one enemy he could never defeat. I like this movie a lot. Scott probably has one of the most iconic openings ever that you can think of, with him standing in front of the flag giving that speech. And George C. Scott, of course, famously turned down or I guess rejected or refused to accept the Oscar for Best Performance that year. I think I tracked this down mainly because it was a Fox widescreen series back in the day when it first came out to watch it when I was younger, but also just because I'm a big fan of George C. Scott. There's a lot of his work. I think I first noticed him in Exorcist 3. That was one of the first movies I saw when I was a kid, was Exorcist 3. And then, of course, I backtracked and found him in a lot of the big stuff he did back in the 60s and 70s. And Dr. Strangelove, The Changeling from 1980 is one of my favorite movies of his. Hardcore is, of course, a classic of his to watch. I think he's just a fantastic actor. So this goes into into my archive, along with 20th Century Fox widescreen series, along with all the aliens, along with Speed, along with The Abyss, along with Sound of Music, I think. I'm not even sure if we've gotten to that one yet. The only thing that's scary is when CBS Fox Video first released Patton on VHS, it was a 2-tape set. Same thing with Sound of Music. And then they got to the point where they could release it on 1 tape. But I bet you if you watch it, this version versus the 2-tape version, of course you're going to get better quality on the 2-tape version. Just because of the way that the way that it was recorded, they're using more tape to capture more quality, So that's one of the things that sucks about these widescreen series tapes, is that they're 1 tape as opposed to the 2, but I'll accept it nonetheless. As always, leave your thoughts below. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll see you next time.